Strickland at 205 pounds. Guys, you want to do anything with that? I mean, this has been a tough line from the beginning. This has been a very, very tough line, and here's the problem with Sean Strickland, okay? And problem might not have been the word. Here's the deal with Sean Strickland. You can usually take him at his word. There's some fighters that are like that. You guys remember, I had this glorious moment after not doing great at picking fights, but I picked the biggest upset in the last 5 years. I was very bullish on it. Juliana Pena to beat Amanda Nunes. And when I got it right, some people come and ask me, Chael, how'd you do it? How'd you know? Because I didn't flinch. I was very confident. And do you want to know how? Do you want to know what my analysis was? Juliana told me she was going to beat her. But I believed her. There was something within her tone. There was something within her voice. There was an edge. There was an anger. Someone beat this girl and even told me how. But take her down. She doesn't hit that hard. People don't crowd her. People don't pressure her. They back up. They get scared. She told me she was going to win. And when I tell you that you can take some guys at their words, you just can't. Here's a great one for you that you guys might remember. Daniel Cormier is a 205-pounder. He's moving up to heavyweight. Going to fight Stipe Miocic. Now, Stipe was a 2.5 to 1 favorite. And I had it that same way. Stipe's just too big. He's too good, but he's too big. Stipe beats up Daniel. Rumor that Brock Lesnar might be in town. Maybe that's something to look forward to. Got this whole fight figured out, though. Fade to black, roll the credit, we'll move on to the next one, right? I mean, but everybody thought that. And it was after the open workout. Remember when they used to do those? Get together and do this open workout pre-COVID. And Daniel, so this is Thursday. The weigh-in's on Friday. The fight is Saturday. Stipe has been the favorite the whole time, 2.5 to 1. And I agreed with it, of course, yeah. Figure it's his weight class. Daniel does the open workout, and Daniel grabs the microphone. He says, you know what, guys? If you want to make some money, get over to the window now, because they got me as a 2.5 dog. So let me make this real clear for any of you that haven't followed along. Daniel used to fight at heavyweight. He used to wrestle there, too. He said, guys, I've never lost a fight at heavyweight. I've never lost a wrestling match at heavyweight. I've never lost a round at heavyweight. This is what Daniel said. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It was so obvious. Like the whole world, everything just got so clear. The light just went on, right? You wipe the fog out of it. Everything's clear. And that line moved. It was a 2.5 to 1 favorite, but that's what it was that entire camp. 2 days before bell time, it moves to 2 to 1. That is a meaningful and sizable amount of money that came in on Daniel Cormier, because it was one of these things where it was so obvious. You just needed somebody to tell you. So when I share that with you, like there's some guys that you can really take at their word. That's not everybody. But Sean Strickland goes into that same category. Sean's words going into his Jared Cannonier fight had me very concerned. I was very concerned. The schmo goes down. Interviewing Sean, asked him, hey, what's your game plan? He said, game plan, man, this is a tough son of a bitch. You got a strategy? Give me one. I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy. And it was meant to be funny, and it was funny, but that's not Sean. It's not Sean at all. So then something else happened, and again, it was entertaining, and it was brash, and it got some headlines, but it wasn't that Sean was going to go murk this guy that doesn't belong in there with him, which would have been more along the theme of what Sean had said in the 7-in-a-row run that he got on prior to running in to Piera. So when that fight gets over, Sean even talked about that. He said, man, I was questioning myself. You know, I got knocked out, and I'm questioning myself, and now it's a 5-round atmosphere. I'd have loved to have been in a 3-round atmosphere, and all of that stuff made sense. I fully agreed. I understood all of it. I knew just where he was coming from. And it's a wildly difficult skill to separate yourself from reality, but sometimes you have to do it. You got to be careful what you let in your bubble. Sometimes you got to lie to yourself. I did not get knocked out by Piera. I never even fought Piera. And you need to convince yourself of that. Imagine how hard that would be. How do you separate yourself from the reality? Sometimes it's what you've got to do as an athlete. And I felt as though Sean put way too much on himself going in to the Cannonier fight because of what happened in his previous fight. And I thought Sean looked good. After all, one judge said Sean won 4 of the rounds. That's dominant. In a worst case scenario, Sean just went out and went fisticuffs for 25 straight minutes with a guy that just went fisticuffs for 25 straight minutes against Israel Adesanya. I mean, in a worst case scenario, you leave there going, damn, I'm pretty good at fighting. And I'm just hoping that that is what Sean did. I don't know. I am seeing glimpses of Sean being a little bit nice. And nice has never served him. And while you're looking at that, think about this, because the weigh-in for this fight was officially light heavyweight. Did you guys know that? I did not. And Sean took full advantage. And I did think that, even when he took this fight on really short notice, like, okay, when's he getting the weight off? I mean, I see him today. He's got the sunglasses because he just had a dilated eye exam. Now he's doing the media. When is he going to cut the weight? Well, it turned out he wasn't going to. I never got the memo on that. So they move it up to light heavyweight. That was for Strickland, who weighed in at 204 pounds, but his opponent weighed in at 194 pounds. And I thought that was very telling. I have shared with you before that cutting weight is an American phenomenon, right? Cutting 30 pounds, cutting massive amounts of weight. It's an American phenomenon. And I feel as though Sean's opponent helped to prove that. I mean, the mere fact that he had to cut no weight, just showed up at whatever he's walking around at, could have even had breakfast before he got to the scale for all we know, and weighed 194 pounds. That's wonderful. That's great. Get your weight down, go to 185. That's great. Size does matter. If Sean weighs 204 pounds, which is roughly 20 pounds more than he weighed in at against Jared Cannonier a month ago, does that mean he's going to be a little slower? Does that mean he's going to be a little bit more sluggish? Does that mean he's not quite the level of fitness? Or does that mean he's going to be more powerful? How much harder to take down? How much more effective when he gets on top? Those punches with that more oomph behind him. I don't have the answers for you. I know that you can generally take Sean Strickland at his word. I think that Sean Strickland has been up against a lot. A lot. And now he's switching weight classes, an opponent he didn't plan for, short notice fight, main event. Some guys do their finest work when the house is on fire. You want an official prediction from me? I'm still taking Sean.